All scholars know that black is an English word. It's in the 14th century, medieval period. It is no older than 500 years old on the planet, and in its original Lower German form, it actually means pale. Now, scholars know that we're not black people, but we believe we are because that's one of the brands that we've accepted. You know, just because you accept something doesn't make it true. Many people do not understand the function of the social engineering that the European did. So when they look at black, they're looking at black from a perspective of identity, right? They're looking at it from a perspective of identity. When the European calls us black, he's using it from an engineering perspective for classification purposes. And if our people would understand that much, because it is a fact, improvable fact, then they would look at it different. Black, right? There's black.
Right.
Adjective, right?
Right.
Middle English, isn't it? That shows you the etymological origin, right?
Right.
Right. Now, Middle English, when you see the brackets, that gives you the history of the word.
Right.
It goes not past the medieval period or the mid-century. Most of our people do not know how to read a dictionary. And right here, you have black or more.
Right.
Then it's a noun, and it's irregular, and then it's black, which is the adjective, and you see a small case, right? Then plus more, which is capitalized because that's the proper noun, right? And that's a dark-skinned person, especially, etc. In the other dictionary says African American, whatever they call them, but that's the identity. Everybody knows who we are except us. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
White and black are statuses. They're legal statuses. And so our people are looking at them as identities. This is where the clash comes, because they lack understanding. Meaning that, me too. I mean, I'm for the power of our people. Now, like say for instance, you say you're for black power. You're for our people.
Right. That's what I mean when I say
And I'm for you, for our people. But when you say black power, you just cast them right into the lowest class of society. But it is only not for a lack of sincerity, it's a lack of knowing what it means in an engineering perspective. And so a social engineer recognizes it immediately. A person who's just passionately battling for the rights of their people are not looking at it from that perspective. So they're innocent victims of linguistics and law. Now, what happens is, if a brother comes try to wake them up, we're all passionately, you know, because we got to do this thing now, right? You know, we're trying to fix something. So now we're frustrated, but our passions are blinding us to that we are casting ourselves in the lowest caste of society. I suggested you do this too, and this for Asiatics. Go into one of the great historians that's recognized all over the world, David McRitchie. That's European. And they'll tell you in the history that black and white are legal statuses. They have nothing to do with complexion.
Nope, not at all.
And guess what? That's not just here. That's all over the world. Our people here who've been miseducated from European colonialism are the only ones that don't know it. And we keep on arguing the low status and then get mad because people treat us accordingly.
Right.
So when the Moors say that they not black, but
That's why it's called status.
But they would say, I'm a free white person.
Yes,
You're
now.
dealing with status.
Go get law book.
You ain't dealing with the color of the complexion.
Now, come on. And if we could get that, if we could get our people away from the emotions,
these black with the
if we
brown.
could get our people away from the emotions of defending a habit that we've been trained to. See, because just like the youth today don't know that a few generations ago, where there was still some consciousness left, if you called an Asiatic or African black, you had a fight. Because they knew you was classifying them. But our people have been miseducated, and so now they think it's an identity.